Hey guys, welcome back to I Love You, Colonel Sanders. I think this is part 5. So, on the last, we ran into another spork monster. I think his name was Borko, Forko, Gorko, something along those lines. So, we were able to convince him not to fight us. He got caught up, we made it to Colonel Sanders' house. We had a really intimate communication with them, and it's the start of something special. So let's go ahead and start our final day of culinary school. Now let's see if we can get the Colonel's blend of 11 herbs and spices. Today is the day that could change the rest of our life. The rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. Redacted. In some jurisdictions, redacted isn't even legal, but if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Let's flirt with him. I'd take him down a peg. It's good, but my mom made better. Colonel Sanders' expression grows serious. Did your jab land too hard? Colonel, I know what you're going to say. I need to be better. If I'm going to leave my mark on this world. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner, could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears, unable to speak. The only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there, waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, and I couldn't find you. I got so worried that something had happened to you. It's okay, I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can totally get you up to speed on the saga, Miriam. Sure, but... You'll not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I've been partnered with Clank, he asked me to go out with him. Of course, I told him, you better keep your dials turned to polite and respectful. I'm not that kind of girl. But he's just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me. So I said, yeah, sure. I can get to know that little metallic guy. Long story short, he took me skydiving with his friends, but things quickly spiraled out of control. Pun time. Did she just say skydiving as if that's a typical first date to go on with a talking pressure cooker? And now, I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, however. Balling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection. Wowzers. Why is this an option? What is the benefit of making this an option? Together with your besties, you feel like you can do anything. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not grasp that fact. Because, he's Pop. What's a swirly? It sounds delicious!
Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away.
I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat.
You can get your swirly dipped too.
Why don't you pick on someone your own size?
Because I'm literally the biggest person at this school.
There is that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school. But who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature?
You've got some nerve, my cock, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse.
Now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accidents make you wince with pain.
Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Might as well just give up.
I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to a boiling point. Over a naturally intuitive person, he senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for their final day of school? My cock. How's that hand feeling? I'm sure she'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hand, Colonel? Yesterday I almost broke a nail winning so hard.
Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive.
Was he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, gooey chocolate sauce?
It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received.
That's a lot of words to say. It was bland.
Excuse me, my cock. I am more than capable enough to speak for myself.
Maybe you can tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel.
I'm always interested in discussing the fine arts of fine food. See you inside, my cock.
Annoyed by Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley for who you know she is, she really is. You walk across the quad to get some distance. In an attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by the interaction with Ashley, you take out the spellbook you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Wow, look at that book! It looks like bad news! It's just something I found laying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire. But I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. It would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful. I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings. Cast only in case of extreme emergency, it says around the edges of the page. I could use this here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scrub out Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That's way drastic. Couldn't you just do something else? Like anything else? Not rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic. But desperate time calls for desperate measures. You got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Alright, so we have big option. Cast the forbidden spell. Don't do it after all. I vote let's not do it, because the whole point of this is to date Colonel Sanders, not win in the academy. And so I feel at this point we had to make a decision. And the past, so cast the forbidden spell. We forget Colonel Sanders, we pass the academy, but we lose the game because we don't have Colonel Sanders. If we don't do it, we remember Colonel Sanders, we get distracted. And I'm not sure if Colonel Sanders will be the person that gets us through that time, or if we will lose because of remembering him. Like, not pass. But I feel like the best way to get with Colonel Sanders is to remember him. Remember that special night. So we're not going to do it. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement.
I want you all to know, I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of.
His cute little nose scrunches up, and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach for some old homework. Give him around. Let's give him some homework. You reach into your backpack and grab some homework from last semester that you forgot to turn in. Sprinkles immediately goes for it and gobbles the sheet of paper like it's a piece of fresh chicken rawhide.
I apologize for the outburst. I know it seems cliche, but not much of this world satisfies like ungraded work. My cock. Were you studying something with cinnamon? I've been sitting in on lecture series around the art of cake baking. How insightful. This actually brings up an important point.
Thank you, my cock, for reminding me to dole out the indispensable bit of wisdom. You see. But before we can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by whirls and sparks coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class.
Bzz, bzz.
You think I wanted to be thrown from a plane strapped to a stranger? Miriam and Clank appear to be arguing, but you still haven't learned to speak Clank's language of mechanical noises. But no, you had to go show off to your cool friends Jeff and Joan. J&J forever. Watch us form a triangle in midair as we descend. Triangles are the strongest shape, don't you know?
Bzz, bzz.
Yeah, well, doesn't make it a great date. Beep. Then take Jeff and Joan with you. You can all hold hands as you pedal down the mountain or off a cliff for all I care. Sad beep. Oh. Poor Bud. Clank begins to shudder. Steam pours out of the gaps in his panel, and then a loud ding stops him in his tracks. Beep. Bzz. No amount of seasoning's gonna make me want to eat that, Clank. Clank bursts out a completely deep-fried sneaker. Considering that he himself has wheels, not feet, it's not entirely clear where it came from. In terms of deep-fried footwear, I guess it looks okay. Clank slowly rolls out of the room to be alone with his shoe. Everyone tries to pretend like they didn't see that entire thing go down. God bless whoever created this game. Nothing like a loud public breakup to cast pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you can think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay? I'm so mad I can smash a tiny mud, spilling several drops of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me like that in front of the whole class? Her tiny cocoa is a delicious treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke. Even if the source of her frustration is just such a silly boy. I know you know this, but I'm going to say out loud, you don't need anyone. Me and you, we're going to cruise through this final test and hit the carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me! Of course not. Well, maybe sorta, but
I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it, and a ranch big enough for both of us, and whoever else we want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clink or anyone you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person. You shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest in you. Anyhow, Mary gives you a big hug and wipes a tear from her cheeks. I should really review the menu for today. I want to make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is going to love it up. While you're pep talking Miriam, you completely miss lunch, but that's okay because you have a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You decide to head to the arena early to practice a dish. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up right there. So, we got to school, there was a breakup, and while not a lot of interesting stuff happened, we made a big decision on whether or not we'd remember or forget Colonel Sanders. Also, our best friend had a big breakup with a pressure cooker whose response was to deep fry a shoe. There's a lot going on in this game, but we're gonna go ahead and leave it off there. I'll see all you dudes in the next video.